Hello everyone, welcome back. So we are already in the 12th part of our RAP video series. In this part, we will further enhance our managed transactional app with metadata extension. Till now, we have created the base tables. On top of that, we have created the interface views, and on top of that, we have created the consumption view. But we didn't edit single UI annotation yet. Before going further, just I want to explain, we want to create this travel app for the two kind of users. First is the processor, second is the approver. We have developed our consumption layer till now for the processor. For the processor, whatever the data needed, we have as of now, the processor and approver, the consumption view which we have created will work same, but the UI layer it will be little bit different. So we will create the first we want to complete the processor application, then we will start our approver application. Till now, so as I told you, we have created the CDS view projection on top of our CDS interface view. That was the travel, booking supplement view object, and we have projected all three entities to the projection layer. This part we didn't touch yet, but before touching this part, I just want to finish first this part. I just want to see at least the read-only applications, how it look like. Then we will make changes. We will add this behavior definition, and then we have add the behavior definition projection as well, and this we will write the code in the class as well. So in this video, we'll create first the UI annotations. So instead of adding the UI annotation in the same projection view, we will create the separate metadata extension file where we will mention the UI annotation. First, we want to understand what is this metadata extension file. Any CDS view can have a lot of annotations. If we define all the annotations in the one CDS view, it will be very difficult to read. So due to that, we will create for particular CDS view, we can create the separate file for the metadata extension. We will call that metadata extension file. In there we can define all the annotation which is already not defined in the our main CDS entity or DDSBC based CDS view, we can say. In the main CDS entity, we have to define only those annotations which is required. For example, 7-tick currency code, and we have to give the currency code field name. That is mandatory to define there. That is ABAP level annotation. That we have to define there only. But still, we want to shift UI related annotations somewhere else. If we define everything in one place, it is very difficult to read. Like we did in our read-only applications when we started this RAP series. We defined everything in our consumption view itself, which we are consuming in our finally we creating on top of that service and the service binding. There only we were defining instead of defining in separate file. So MDEs, we can define what is the advantage. First, we can define additional all the annotation in this MDEs. This is MDE is a separate object. We will call this ddlx source code. In our normal CDS view is written in DDL source code, and this is ddlx source code. It will be written separately and transported separately. It is independent of our CDS entity which we are creating. What is the advantage of that? If some changes in the UI layer, you can do the changes and move out the separately without touching your CDS entity. Second, to use this MDE file for that particular CDS entity, we have to define this annotation in our CDS entity, metadata.allow extension equal to true. It will enable us to create the metadata extension file for that particular CDS entity. That is very important. We can create the multiple MDEs for particular CDS entity, and we can define each metadata extension file which we are going to create will be assigned to a separate layer. Suppose SAP created some metadata extension file, so they will give as a core. They can give code or localize or industry. For example, they created one application, whole application, core application, base application. On top of that, that application should work differently for different local regions. So they have created the metadata on top of this different localizations, metadata extension file, or some of the, for example, one application created for the all the countries, but for three countries it should behave, or it should, the metadata extension, there should be some extensions. What I can say, there should be some annotations will work in for differently for these three countries only. For other countries it should be same. So they created base application on top of that, and they created one MDE core, and on top of that three different countries are there. For those three countries they have created the localization file. Okay, and for other country, since we didn't create the localization file, it will work, it will take from the core itself. And on top of that, and we can have that in the particular country, we can have different industry also, not only localization industries. That particular application, the different industry, it will behave differently. For that also we can create the different MDEs, and this application given to the partners, on top of the partners, SAP partners, which develop the applications and give to the, on top of the SAP application, they enhance the applications and give to the other customers, and they will sell their self. They can also, we call them partner as well, and customer which consume this application finally, which we are working with always customer when we develop the applications. We want to use our metadata extension file instead of partner, industry, localization and core. Then we can create our metadata extension files. So these are different type of different layer of the metadata extension file. If customer create the metadata extension file, his file only run, none of the other files will be run. If same CDS view have the customer, partner, industry, localization, core MDEs, then only customer MDE will run. The same way, if a partner is there and there is no customer one, then partner will win. This is the same sequence. One MDE is run at a time, one layer, the based on the level. So customer is created, then customer will run. If there are multiple created and customer also there, then customer first preference will be given to customer, then partner, then industry, then localization, and then core. So last one, MDE's advantages. So what all are the advantages? First advantage, improve the readability. We are creating the separate file for the metadata, our annotations, so we can easily read our base CDS view. We are not including everything in our base CDS view. That is one thing, and it is transported separately. That is another advantage. If we want to change in our UI layer only some changes, then we just modify the MDE ddlx file and then we transport it. We no need to touch our base views. So that is another advantage. Another advantage is that if we are going to add those UI annotations in our base CDS itself, then we not only have to capture that particular base CDS, and dependent entities also we have to capture. Why? Suppose I have made the change in my root CDS entity, so I have to capture the dependent all the child CDS entities to capture all the together and transport together. If you would have created the separate MDEs file, then no need to, neither we have to capture the root or nor we have to capture the dependent entities childs. So we just separate it out all the annotations in MDEs, so it is independent of our CDS root CDS entities. So that is another advantage. And layering system will give another advantage. Customer want different kind of annotations and partner want different kind of annotations. SAP given different kind of annotations. Based on the customer requirement, he can do whatever he want. He create his annotation file and he can copy and add some more annotation on top of that. He can do whatever he want. So that is another, the layering system will give this kind of advantages. And next, we are going to create our first MDE on top of this GC Travel TechM. We want to display our list report page like this. There should be 3 selection criteria, 1 search option, and there should be some fields should be displayed, and create, delete, we will add these kind of things in next video, but at least we want to display this kind of application first. For displaying this kind of application, we want to create the MDEs. Without wasting the time, let's jump into the system and create our metadata extension file. So you can see in the system, we have already created 3 base table. On top of this 3 base table, we have created the interface views, and then we have created the 3 consumption view. This is one view object, and we on top of that view object, we have created consumption view as well. You can see travel, booking, and booking supplement. So before adding the metadata extension file, I want to make some changes in my consumption of the travel taken, because customer can't understand, or user, whoever using the application, he can't understand what is this customer ID or agency ID. I want to give the, along with the agency ID, I want to give some text as well. So I will consume this expose the association is ad hoc. Here only control V, I will do dot control space, and I will get the name. There is name, yeah, name is agency name, agency underscore or name, like other name we have given, same way I have given here, NA. Same way I want to get the customer ID, so I want to get the customer name as well. So same way I will consume the customer association as well. Control C, control V, because I have to annotate this particular fields also in my metadata extension file. I will show you, because I want to display the along with the ID tags, so I have to annotate with the object model annotation. So that is the reason I need those fields there as well. To get those fields there, I have to add first here. That's very important. Control space, I can add the last or first name. Obviously last name I will add is name or customer name, and last thing I want to add the overall status. I need the overall status text. Instead of OP and X, I want some open, or there is 3 open, booked or rejected, something like that, or cancelled. So I want that text I will get from this particular status association. Dot control space you will do. I want to get this, you will get again underscore text. I want to get control space. I want to get this text. So what will happen? Shift F1, let me do. I'm getting still one error over here. So underscore text can be modified. The association can be modified. The cardinality of the result set, path expression with the cardinality not supported here. What is the problem? Let me see. So if you click on this underscore status association here, it's coming from this one. Here we have given one-to-one relationship, but that is not true. If you open this particular status interface view, for particular status we can have n number of text. If you do F8 here I will get only 3 text: open, accept, and reject. But I want to see the text of this particular association. I want to follow this particular association, and if I open this one and I will get text from here, then if I do F8 over here and I will try to check open, accepted, and rejected, that is in different languages. So that is the reason they have established the relationship between this particular overall status and overall status text 1 to n. In our case also, we will get the this particular for particular status I will get the n number of entries. So first I can modify the cardinality over here. I can get 1 to the star. That is one thing, and then control F3. And second thing, I have to come to again my consumption view where I am consuming that particular association. Shift F1, let me do. And second thing, since there can be the n number of entries over here, so I have, so for that particular entry, how one line can display the n number of lines. To solve this one, we always display the text in the localized language. So there is something called this is the this is the word you have to use. localize. So what it will do, it will display the text in the your local language, whatever the language you logged in the system. Suppose you logged in the English language, then this particular, for you, this application will be displayed and this text will be displayed in the English language. Shift F1. I think this will solve the issue. Shift F1, Control F3. Still we are having the error, or it got solved, I'm not sure. Let's check it out. Okay, there is error. Let me see what is the error. Still we have the error. Not activated. Cardinality is greater than 1. Okay, what I have changed here? What is this? What warning? Cardinality of associate does not match with the own conditions. Okay, I think the oral status will be the 1-to-1 cardinality on only the Shift Control F3. So oral status, we will get the one entry in this association. If you see in this one, you will get the one entry only. But in this association, in turn, it will be the become. If you do F8 over here, you will get one entry O and X. Status will be one only. But for this status, if you are accessing the text, there will be 0 to n cardinality. That is the reason. And so we have to use the, in our interface view, 1-to-1 it was correct. But in the consumption view, now the error, I think it will get removed. So since we are accessing again this from this association, we are accessing another association, this can have n number of entries. To solve this error, we have given the localize, so we will get only one entries from that. So no need to modify this one, because the status will be only one. And if you see in this status, there will be only one status, but this status text can be in 3 different levels. That is the reason they have used 0 to star. So to get, we will get 3 entries. For one status, we will get the multiple entries. In this case, we currently system maintained in the 2 different languages, one in the German language and another in English language. So one status, we will get the 2 entries. To solve that one, so since we are accessing this underscore tax association, to solve that one, we have used the localized. So whatever in the local language, that text you will give. So in that way, Control F3, this will solve our problem. Now we will create the metadata extension file. Before doing that, I have to add the metadata extension annotation in my consumption view. So let me do enter. @metadata extension equal to true, allow extension equal to true, and let me activate this one. Shift F1, Control F3. It will give me warning, I think so. There is no metadata extension file. Let me create one new metadata extension. I will give the same name, MDE for travel. We'll use this same description. You click on next, give the appropriate TR, click on next button, and annotate view and annotate entity. So there is small difference between the annotate view and entity. Whenever I call the CDS entity, it will cover the lot of things: CDS normal view, projection view, CDS table functions, hierarchies, CDS abstract entity, everything it will cover. Whenever I will tell the CDS view, it will cover 3 things only: CDS DDIC base view, CDS entity, and CDS projection view. In this case, this is the normal CDS view or CDS entity. We can use any one of them, it will work, annotate view or annotate entity. But if you are annotating an abstract entity, then you have to use the annotate entity. That will cover the abstract entity as well. So that you have to make sure. Or hierarchies, if you want to annotate, then you have to use the annotate entity. The hierarchy is not part of view. View only have 3 things. One is the basic CDS view, and second is the CDS entity, and third is the DDIC based CDS views or projection views. So these are the 3 or 4 things are there, which is part of view. And if something else is there, like the hierarchies or abstract entities, these are the different kind of CDS. So you have to use, in that case, annotate entity. In our case, annotate view and entity both you can use, both will work, but our case annotate view is fine, so I'm using this one. I will create separate sections. In CDS and video series, there are different already covered lot of CDS views there. There are other CDS view, projection view, which we have covered here. I will cover there also, go in depth, and the hierarchies are also there, and abstract CDS, abstract entities are also there. That also we will cover in that video series. As of now, that is fine. So first we have to define the layer. As I told you, this we only created as a we want to provide this application to the end user. So if suppose SAP created, they would have created with core or industry localized or industry localized or core. On top of that, if you want to create, then we will give again customer. But in this case, I am only creating this application, so I can give core myself also, because this is custom application. Again, I have to define all the elements which you want to annotate. You can do control space. I want to annotate all the annotate, and since I can't annotate obviously associations, I have to remove those associations over here. I don't want to annotate any one of the association, but I want to annotate this all the fields one by one. Control shift less than as of now, shift F1, control F3. Before annotating this particular travel entity, I want to create the quickly service and the service binding, so I can see whatever I am doing, the UI changes and the front end as well. To do that, I will create that quickly, the service definition. Right click on that, new service definition on this one, and I can give the service definition name SV or service definition. So ZSR underscore travel take underscore m. You can give as per your naming convention. SR I am using for the service, and tech for the that name Technomaniac, and M for managed. So I can give service definition. Managed I can give for managed one, and click on next. Give appropriate ER, click next button, click on finish. There is one template only, click on finish. Basically we created for the read only application service. The same way we can create here for this as well. So let me go alt back one more. Okay, where it got created, this one here. So you can give all the entity over. You can expose ZC underscore ZC underscore booking underscore taken. You can at least we will expose as of now our what we can say, our transactional entities ZC underscore, and we will add the our master data entities as well. Booking supplement, what is the name? Booking supplement. We copy and paste quickly. Control C, close it. As of now this is not needed. Control V and semicolon. Shift F1 and Control F3. I have to add a lot of other entities also. Let me create as of now service binding. Right click on this one, create new service binding, and give appropriate name ZSB. Oh, in this case we should not give service binding. We have to create let me create this one, ZUI flight RAM V2. I want to create the V2 type. So take I will use take underscore V2, and this is UI application, so that is the reason I used the UI. If you are using for the web application, you can use some WEB for web or something. So that is the reason. So V2 I can say V2 managed app, travel managed app, or you can say managed app, something you can give. Service binding time I want to use V2. Will create V4 as well. Make sure your version is the latest version. If your version of Eclipse is not latest, you update your version. Otherwise the front end behave sometime inappropriately. So you have to be always latest version of Eclipse, and you have to go to help and update to the latest software. When I was developing for the practice, that time my version was not latest, so I was not getting the desired result. is per the, because I'm working with the transactional app, so the create button and update button was not displaying. So you have to be on latest version, that you have to make sure. That's a very important thing. Click on next button and click on finish button. Give the appropriate TR and Control F3. Activate your service binding and publish your service binding. It will take little bit time, but let it take time. So whatever we are doing, we can see at least in the front end as well. So because we are adding a lot of UI annotations, how UI annotations are impacting on the front end, so that we can see. So here we have completed our service definition also, and service binding as well. So we can see all the things. The one flow is completed. So next video we will do the BDF service, what we can say, this part. Let me go to my PPT again. So where we were, so we completed this till entire structure. We are still developing our projection view. We will complete this video, but this behavior definition and behavior definition projection we will do in my next. That is fine. I hope so it got activated. Let me go to my travel entity and preview the application, how it look like. That is very important. I didn't do anything, so I think it will display normal view. There is nothing is there. So I didn't edit even single annotations, but still you can add or you can display like we did in our travel, our read only application. But I don't want to go there again back. Instead of going there, so let me come to my metadata extension file which I have created, and add one by one all the annotations. First we will add the line item reference annotations that will be needed for to display all the fields. List report page, what all are the fields you want to display and what sequence you want to display. So I have created one, you can say this, which field we want to display as a line item reference. You can say travel ID, agency ID, begin date, end date. These all are the fields I want to display in my main list reports. And some of the fields I don't want to display on the main list page. Instead of, I want to display in my object page. So let me add this all the fields in my main field list quickly. So what I can do, I can uncomment one by one, Control Shift greater than, and you have to use @UI dot line item reference line item, and you have to use position, full space you can do, and I want to add particular field, Shift F1 at the first position. Same way, Control C, I want to add this Control greater than agency ID as well, but that will be in second position. U20. I don't want to display the agency name because that will be displayed along with the agency ID. Using the object model text as text, I will annotation, I will establish the relationship that after some time, and I will display after that customer ID, that will be 30. After the customer ID, I have the begin date, end date, and total price. We will not display customer name, but we will display the begin date, Control Shift greater than, customer ID, then begin date, end date will display, Control then, and booking fee we will not display. We will display booking fee in the object page. We will display the total price in the main page. So then currency code we don't want to display, but the description obviously we will display, that also bigger field. We will display in the object page, and overall status obviously we will display here, Control greater than. The text of the overall status again we will link using the object model annotation. This is how we have to display. Let me make it 40, 50, 60 and 70. Shift F1, Control F3. Let's see it's getting activated or not. Once it is activated, Control F3, I think it got activated. Let me go to my binding. Let me preview. Oh, I use ZI here, but I should use ZC. I will do that thing, but meanwhile let it preview it. So you can see all the fields come: travel ID, agency ID, customer ID, starting date, end date, total price, and overall listed. On go button, these fields only now displayed instead of displaying all the fields. Now let me go again back to my metadata extension file, which is this one. Let me open it parallelly with the ZC travel booking here, and you can see apart from the UI line item, I want to add the selection fields as well. So I will add the selection field first: agency ID, customer ID, and the overall status. Key field is a selection field. So let me add these three fields as a selection field. To add there is another way I will tell you. First we can do like this: UI dot selection field, and we can give the position, space, tab, and 10, shift F1, like that we can give. But I don't want to add this as a selection field. Control X. I want to add this as a selection, shift F1. So this is a selection field. Travel ID I don't want to as a selection field. Agency ID, customer ID I want to add, I think. Okay. So I can add like this, and one another way I can do, instead of doing this multiple time using the UI dot like that, it is the same way in the ABAP. We use the data, then variable name, type, then declare, then data, variable. Instead of doing this thing, we use data and semicolon, and we never use the data as part of the declaration. The same way I will use the UI semicolon, but here we have to use the medium bracket and then the comma separated list of all the UI annotations. This is how we have to declare selection fields, and then we have to close this medium bracket. Shift F1. So wherever it is multiple, we have to do the same. Control C. Let me make it 20 only. Identical. Control C. And second field I want to add, I think, customer ID as well. Let me add the customer ID as well as a selection field. So this is 30. I have to remember. Control V. Let me make it 30 as a line item and 30 as a selection field as well. And at last I want to add, I think so, overall status as well, but this time 70. I have to remember this should be 70. Anyway, these are the relatives only, but let me use selection field 30. It will not give any confusion. Shift 1. If I use 70 or 30, it will not matter. It will just display after these two selections. Shift F1, Control F3. One more thing I want to do. I want to add one search field also. Before doing that, I just want to display out this particular application. Let me refresh it out how it looks now. So you can see what we are doing actually. We added the three selection field now: agency ID, overall status, and customer ID. Let me go. Let me see what is the numbering here. Overall status is 30 or 30. So you can see I use the selection field 30 here as well and 30 here as well. That is the result. Let me use this one, the 40, 20, 30, and 40. Shift F1, Control F3. So that is the reason it got shifted here and there. So I want this field here. Let me refresh it out now. Now two things we have to do. It got switched. Let me click on go button. I can see the data as well. I don't have app for help, first thing. I don't have one search field also. I want that is for global search. I want in front of that one, and you know from my read-only application how to do. We will do quickly here as well. And I want app for help for these three. Not only that, I not only I want to display the ID, I want to display the description of the travel ID, agency ID, and customer ID as well. So let's do that. So you know already, first thing, to enable the search at the global, we have to declare at the header level @searchable, at search equal to searchable true. And which element you want to use for search? First I want to use for the travel ID. So here also we have to use @search default search equal to true. So let me copy it. For the Control C, travel ID also we have to do. Control V, agency ID I did, and travel ID. For all the searchable, I want to make agency ID, travel ID, customer ID, and overall status. Let me make customer ID as well. So just before we have to give customer ID is here. So the overall status also we have to give. So let me do left F1, control F3. Let me refresh it out quickly. Application. So here there will be one search field, and this search field, based on this 4 field, we can enter any value and it will filter out based on this particular search field. So like that, I already shown you in my read-only application. If you don't know, you can watch out that application. So this is how we build generally. Just this can be as a revision, you can see. And searchable is done, selection field is done. We'll add value help. Before that, we will add this object model text. One more important thing here, this object model text is a ABAP level annotation. We can't add here at the metadata level file, as I told you in my Fiori part also. So we have to, that is the reason we have added this agency name here. So we have to link here like this, @object model. Oh, Control Z, object, control space, obj object model dot text, enter, space, enter. So which element you want to give? In this case, I don't want to give the association, I just want to give the element. So in my case, the agency name is the element. I can use dot element equal to agency name directly as well. So no need to use comma separated list here. F1, there is only one annotations. I used column and then I use a small bracket like this if you want to give multiple annotations, but in this case, since I have one only, so I can use directly dot delete. This will be the element and no need to close again. Like that also in use F1. Same way I will give for the customer ID also. Customer ID also I will give control space, shift enter if you give, and go to give control C, customer name. In the same way we can give for the for else, what else we have to give, oral status as well. Oral status, oral, this annotation if I try to use here, I just want to show you, it will give you error. Customer ID, if I say suppose I want to use here, you will get the error like that, annotation not permitted in the metadata extension file. You can't use this annotation in the metadata. You can use UI level annotations only, or ABAP level annotation you can't use here. So that is the reason I didn't use. And the overall status again we have to give here. So we, in this case I will be using element. I have to give some alias name here. I didn't forgot to give here. Control C, overall status text. Okay, Control X. I have to give like this. I can use like this. Control C. I'm using overall status text anywhere. No, I'm not using. No need to worry here. Otherwise, here I'm using here. So future if I use, I will change here as well. Text overall status text. Shift F1, Control F3. Let's see, do we get any error or it is successfully activating. Activation in progress. Let me activate this also. Activate it. Control F3. Both are activated now. So now what we will do? We'll quickly preview our application. What thing got changed or nothing got changed? We see. So let me click on go button. So you can see now along with the agency ID name, then agency is displaying customer ID name and customer, its object text model, and we have something called the overall status open and O, you can see. But in this case I went in object page. I just want to display open or accepted like that. I don't want to display again O and P. That also we can do, we will do, don't worry. And before going that, I just want to add some search help for this all the fields. For adding the help for the agency ID, so I have to use the consumption dot control space value help definition is there, value help definition. I think I did mistake, value help definition, shift enter, control Z, not shift enter, control space, value help definition, Z, control space, definition, enter, and we have to give the element over here. So we have to write element entity, not sorry, element for giving the entity name, which CDS entity you want to use and what is the description you want to use. So you can do here shift enter here to get all the annotations. So I want to give this name, control copy, and the CDS entity, and what is the element, element also I have to make sure that demo I agency ID is the element name. I can give, I hope so, search help is available, no, agency ID is there, delete, control space, or I can give directly agency ID from here, control V. We have to reconfirm before doing that, control C, control shift A, control C, control shift A, control V. We have to open it up, see agency ID field is there or not. See agency ID field is there. Okay, let me use same field. Okay, ID was, that is the reason we have to re-verify. So this is how we have to use, control F3. So value help is done for the agency ID, and other help, value help we have to do for the customer ID. So let me do for the customer ID as well. For doing the customer ID, what we have to do, iterate consumption CON, control space, control space, consumption dot default cell, values search help definition. Let me write from here, control V, control space, enter, entity name, enter, and this time we want to get from this customer. I think customer ID will be spelled control C, control shift A, control V. Let me open up what is the customer ID name there. So based on that, actually we can give the exact name, control C, customer ID field, element which we want to get the search. Let me copy this one, control C. Last, for what we have to give value help for the currency and the overall status. Let me go to the currency field. I just want to give the value help here. Currency code we are not gonna display in the list report page, but when we are going to edit the field, that time we will be needing the value help. That is the reason we want to give the value help for the, because in the managed transactional scenario we want to edit also this particular field, which currency. So for this currency code, what is the I currency is the table, control C, I already noted down, control V, and again control shift A, control V. I think currency ID will be the field, or currency will be the field. This case currency, come here, currency field name, shift F1. So why we edit for the currency value help? Because we will be needing when we are editing the, when we are creating the new travel instances, or we are modifying the travel instances when we want to change the currency code. Last thing we want to give for the overall status as well. Let me go there. I think you will be not able to see this one, so let me come here. Last time also I found, control V, and in this case we have overall status, the field value help already available, control C and control V, and the field name also this time I copied, control C, overall status, control C and control shift F1, control F3. So like that we have added the value help for each and everything. Currently if you go and try to do F4 help, you're not getting any F4 help. Okay, and let me refresh it out. And try to do the F4 again. Do I get the F4 help? Now I got the F4 help for the agency ID as well. I got the for the customer ID as well, and I got for the overall status accepted, open, and rejected. You can see. So like that I have added the value help for these three fields. That's very important. And one more field I want to do, as I told you. Okay, what else is pending? We did here last change date is already hidden, so I didn't activate it. Or you can, what you can do, control shift greater than, and you can make it the read UI control dot space hidden equal to true. Shift enter, shift F1 and control F3. These all we can close from this side, and you can see I have already given almost all the annotation for the our first travel. So apart from the identification reference, I think I have already given all the things: line, searchable, currency, and everything. Now one thing is pending, only the identification. Let me give that also quickly. It will not take much time. So in this case, so I have to display the identical reference for each and everything. So let me display here separately only at the rate UI dot identical reference. Shift F1, control Z, control space, tab, enter, and I can give the position, control space, position, enter. I can give here 10 only, so that will be better. Shift F1, everything converted to uppercase, and the travel ID I have to give for the agency ID. Agency ID I can give here itself in the comma separated list. This time identification, control C, control colon space, not identical reference. Now I can give position like that, control V, position 20. Then customer ID, begin date, end date I have to give. Let me copy paste directly, control C. Customer ID I can give here directly in this only, so I can copy from here, and it will become 30. Customer ID, it will become 30, and then begin date, and that I will give from here. Begin date, control V, it will become 40. You can mix up, and date also I can give from 50. Begin date, end date we can give. Till here everything is fine. Begin date, end date. Booking fee we have to give. Booking fee previously we didn't edit. Booking fee we have to give. Booking fee we have to uncomment now. Control shift greater than. We have to give this particular annotations here for the 60th position. Delete 60th positions, and after booking fee, or we can add like that, instead of doing this one 60th, I can add 51. So in that way we will not make, or 55 we can give. And total price do we have to give? Yeah, total price also we have to give, and description also we have to give. Total price we will give here. The total price is a 60, and currency code we no need to give, but we have to give for the currency code, no need to give, I think so. Total price, currency code, then description and overall status we have to give. Description we have to give, again there is new field. Let me uncomment, control V, but this time I will give as a 65, and so I can add the identical reference from here, this one, for the overall status is a 70. Okay, comma is a 70. Will somehow play in the sequence. Shift F1, Control F3. We have added the identical reference, but we still have to add the facet. So let me add the facet as well. To add the facet, what we will do, we will add the line item level only, but on top @UI dot facet, shift enter. I will be needing ID. I don't need the qualifier. ID will be, I can give the as a travel, so because it's a main page, so I can give the travel details. So travel, TRAVL, purpose is standard fine, position I can give as a 10. I don't need other fields. This hidden is not needed, importance not needed, label I will be needing. Tell that this is related to travel, facet is related to travel, RAVL, travel details I can say, and this is type of purpose, type also stand identical reference I can tell, and as I controls identical reference type, because we are combining the related field together. This we don't have the target entity, we don't have other fields, that's it. I think these are the fields we need mainly, so that's fine. Shift F1, let me do Control F3. So like that we have added one facet only. Also in the object page, on object page we have added this many line item. Control F3. Let me go to my application. Currently it look like this, object page is blank, but now I have created, no, it's blank. Let me refresh out the application and see that object page is getting created or not. Let me click on go button. Let me click on now object page. You can see travel facet is created. All the details you can see, whatever you created in the object page, that you can see over here only. But one thing is missing still, you can see we don't have the header detail here. And let me go back, and not only we have here header detail also, so that also we have to add. So what we have to do to add this particular information, let me go to again here our header page, and we have to go on top of that. I am there. So what we can do, @UI dot control space header info, shift enter. I need the type name as travel, and type plural name is travels, and image I don't need, URL I don't need, title I need, description I don't need, they are not needed. Let me, type is standard, label I can say travel, and icon URL these are not needed. Value I have travel ID I have, yeah. Identify, these all things are not needed. Okay, so this is more than enough, I think so. It will display those all things what we want. Shift F1, and Control F3. Let me go to my application and refresh it out. I think we will get now all the values correctly. So you can see, so we got the travels heading. Let me click on go button. I will get the count also. Let me go to the line item page. We'll get the ID as well, travel ID. So everything got displayed now correctly, and we have done with the annotations related to our travel entity, and we have created successfully one main page and one object page as well. Now in my next video, I think this video is again becoming very longer, we will add the annotations for the booking and booking supplement as well. So we will add one more facet where we will be having the multiple booking detail, and when we click on that booking, again it will go open in one object page where we'll be having the booking supplement as the like we are displaying travel here. So this kind of application I want to create. So till here we have reached. Now we will enhance our booking and booking supplement both CDS entities in my next video. Before going to that video, like this video, share this videos with others as well. With that, thank you and happy learning.